The Labour leader, Ed Miliband, has been heckled at the TUC Conference in London when he told delegates that strikes over public sector pension reforms were a mistake. His criticism comes just a day before three of the country's biggest unions are expected to announce that they are preparing to ballot for strike action over changes to pensions in November. Here's our political editor, Nick Robinson.
You ain't seen nothing yet. That's the message from public sector unions to the government. Tomorrow, Britain's three biggest unions look set to announce that they're balloting their members on industrial action, which will dwarf that seen in June. The cause? Cuts to their pensions.
Have you got a tough message for the unions, Mr Miliband?
Enter the man the Tories dubbed Red Ed, the man they said owed his job to the unions, coming to give his first speech as Labour leader to the TUC Conference. He was determined to prove that he's his own man.
So I fully understand why millions of decent public sector workers are angry. But while negotiations were going on, I do believe it was a mistake for strikes to happen last summer. And I continue to believe that.
They didn't like that one little bit. Negotiations with the government over pensions, they say, are effectively over. There was more to come.
There are cuts the Tories will impose that we won't be able to reverse in government, and it's straighter for me to say that to you now.
I'm very angry that Ed Miliband, who after all is part of the Labour Party, the leader of the Labour Party, which is in charge of the trade unions, won't defend the right of workers to strike.
Labour leaders aren't normally heckled here at the TUC, but Ed Miliband won't mind that one little bit if it conveys the message he wants to get over, which is that he understands workers' fury at curbs to their pensions, but he also knows that the public don't want to see their lives disrupted by massive strike action. Tomorrow, this conference will debate pensions. Union leaders whose members have not taken strike action up till now are preparing to announce that they do now plan to ballot their members.
For us to move to a ballot, it is enormous. It's the biggest ballot that will ever have been undertaken in this country for industrial action. But we have no choice.
Workers don't take these sorts of actions lightly. The onus is on the government, and if they don't move and they refuse to negotiate, then I think it should support those workers taking action.
I wasn't expecting them to be on the picket line with us next time we take strike action.
Well, he actually said don't strike while there are negotiations.
He did, and it'll be interesting when the negotiations have formally finished on what his position will be then.
The unions plan what they call smart action, like that pursued by workers fighting pay cuts made by Southampton City Council. They picketed parking machines to hit the council where it hurts. But of course, it could also mean this too. If it does, there will be more days for Ed Miliband, which will feel much more uncomfortable than today.
How did it feel to be heckled by the TUC?
Well, I came here with some positive messages and some tough messages. And frankly, that's my job. I'm going to tell things as I see them.
Tonight in Barnet in North London, strikers protested against the sell-off of council services and the threat to their pensions. They think the public are on their side. The question is Ed Miliband? Nick Robinson, BBC News at the TUC Congress, London.
A team of British detectives has arrived in Kenya to help investigate the murder of the British tourist David